Now, when a huge injustice happens in boxing, us boxing fans, we expect rules to be changed. Now, there was a huge injustice just earlier this year in the biggest fight this year. And the WBC has answered the call by making a permanent change to the rules. Remember this injustice?
Just ducked underneath that left hook, but what a shot!
I don't know if you guys have taken a look at the scorecards, but in the second round, the round that Tank knocked Garcia down, one of the judges scored it 10-10, and the other two judges had it 10-9. How do you guys feel about that?
He was gave that round to him. When Kenny, he said to me.
That's right. Gervonta Tank Davis knocked down Ryan Garcia in front of the world in the biggest fight this year. One of the biggest fights in pay-per-view boxing history. Right in front of everybody. But that round was scored by three judges. 10-9, 10-9, and even a 10-10 draw. Now, there were many fans that said, well, Ryan Garcia was winning by so much in that round, that knockdown, it made it a 10-9, and they understood. But no, because if you look at the copy box, Ryan Garcia, he only landed 4 more punches than Gervonta Tank Davis. Now, that's not a huge discrepancy at all. Even when you look at how many punches he threw, 30 plus punches, and if you're going to score rounds on defense as well, then that's definitely a bad thing because he only landed 7 out of the 30. But if you think 4 more punches is enough to erase a knockdown, then that would be just tremendously horrible on the sport of boxing. The WBC and the WBC convention, and this was just exclusively given to this community, the WBC has made a change in that rule, in the 10-point must system. Now, just to give you guys a little history on the 10-point must system, the 10-point must system was implemented in 1968. But it wasn't universally accepted immediately by the boxing world. Case in point, 1970, the fight of the century. Muhammad Ali versus Joe Frazier won. Now, they did not have a 10-point must system scoring that fight. And if you look at that scorecard, you see A and you see F for Ali and for Frazier, saying who they think won the round. And if it was a draw, see a dash. That's how traditionally fights were scored. And if you guys know anything about the fight of the century, Muhammad Ali was dropped by Joe Frazier in the 15th round. Without the 10-point must system, that round was not scored a 10-8. There was nothing different between that round and the rest. For that round, you just saw an F for Frazier winning that round, which is why that fight was so close when you look at it at the end. I think it was a split decision, whatever, but it was a close decision. But since then, the boxing culture, the boxing world, the sport of boxing has universally accepted the 10-point must system. Fast forward to Gervonta Tank Davis versus Ryan Garcia, there was a knockdown. Confusingly enough, no one scored it a 10-8. Well, the WBC just did this to make that rule change.
One thing that we have just completely secured, every round with a knockdown, mandatory 10-8. We have been seeing rounds scored 10-9, 10-10, or even to the other fighter, the knockdown fighter, which is impossible. A knockdown is like a goal, like a home run, so that is taken into consideration.
That's right. Anytime there is a knockdown, it would be a 10-8. If there's 2 knockdowns, it would be a 10-7, no matter what. And like Mauricio Suleiman said, who was the president of the WBC, like he said, a knockdown is a home run. It should make all the difference in the world. So even if you're winning the fight, you get dropped. That is a 10-8. And I think that is beautiful moving forward when it comes to the sport of boxing. I really appreciate this. I accept this. And I would love to know what you all think in the comments below. I think that is a wonderful change. But that's not the only change that they are talking about making in boxing. Clinching. That's right. Excessive clinching. If a fighter is clinching longer than 2.5 seconds, hard warning, and then a point deduction. 2.5 seconds. Doesn't seem that long, but that's good because that makes for less hugging and more punching. The one thing that differentiates boxing from MMA is that it should be mostly strikes and not grappling or clinching. Now, you should have effective clinching, but not excessive clinching. That 2.5 seconds, that is also an incredible improvement. I would love to know what you all think in the comments below. Now, Gervonta Tank Davis versus Ryan Garcia was a highly popular fight, and you need moments like that, big fights like that, for changes to be made. I think it's going to be great. Looking forward in the sport of boxing. ShowBizz adult, I'm out.